Okay. So this most recent time that I was in Vegas in February for Super Bowl weekend, I was playing at the Aria and I was being, my usual self. So like effortlessly beguiling. And one of the dealers.
Sorry for my disagreeing scoff there. Go ahead. As you were.
No, I'm being friendly. I'm talking to people. I'm getting people to order drinks and whatnot. And one of the dealers was getting a big kick out of my table captain shtick. And he was enjoying me and laughing at all my jokes. And he got up and went along to the next table in the stream. Shortly after that, I decided to book my win. And so I cashed out. Let's go. And on my way out, this little dealer, he was my age, but he was like, "Oh no, Caitlin, don't go." And that just made me feel like so special and wanted that I wrapped my arms around him from behind while he was still in the box and I kissed him on the back of the head.
Like the back, the top,
the back,
forehead.
like the crown. Like where the soft spot is on a baby's head. Very tenderly, very sweetly. Let him know that was is that kosher? I want to respect the culture.
Fuck it. Who cares? You're leaving anyways. What are they going to do? Kick you out?
And y'all should have seen him. He was begging for it. You should have seen what he was wearing. Little shiny vest. He wanted it.
Oh, God. Those dealer vests. I don't understand the dealer vests. Why do they make dealers wear a vest?
Because it makes the ladies go wild.
I think that's it.
Let's move on from the 1970s, okay? Like, we've changed a lot of things since then. Let's change the vest. Can dealers just wear normal shirts?
We wear polos.
Yeah. But not in Vegas.
Yeah, I know, dude.
It's
yeah,
so ridiculous.
Yep.
Anyway, y'all, I'm absurd. Welcome to the Texas Poker Experience. I'm Caitlin Komeski. I'm joined with my co-host, Craig Sear. This week, we are joined by a very special guest. We're so glad to have him here. He's a local to Austin, and he's had some very exciting recent results at the World Series of Poker in Vegas. Ever heard of it? Yeah, it's a pretty big tournament. So we are so happy to have him here. Please welcome to your ears, Danny Chang.
Hi, guys.
Super cool. Glad we could get this to work out. I know we tried a couple times before and just kind of like some timing issues and whatever else, but glad that we could get this to finally work for us. I've got some stats. I've got some of your stats. I don't know if you know them, but I know them.
I think I know them.
Are you ready?
Roll out that rap sheet.
Yeah.
You've got $535,000 in live earnings on Hand and Mob.
Doing.
With a largest live cash of just under $300K. I'm pretty sure you know that one. It was recent enough. Pretty good life experience. I'd imagine you will remember that one for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And most recently in the Monthly Monster at the Lodge, you had a pretty deep run in that for a little over 5K.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about that run in the World Series. It was PL 08, right?
Yeah.
And got to the final table. What did you have locked up when you went to the final table?
No idea.
You don't even know?
No. Because
really?
At a certain point, I remember talking to my friend the night before. I was like, I'm not going to search up anybody. I'm just going to play this game, right? Because, it doesn't really matter. Once you're in the money, you're in the money. Your goal is just to play good poker. You know you're going to get pay jumps, right? But why should it be relevant to your decision when you're playing cards? That's how I like to see it, and I just went straight for it. Because I trust PL 08's my favorite game. I truly think that's, the one game I excel in. I started, I played Hold'em for 6 months.
Really make love to the microphone, honey. We want to hear all this juicy goodness.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so...
it won't curve on you. She wants you. She wants you back.
So, yeah, when I was 13, I played Hold'em for 6 months, and then I went straight to PL 08.
Really?
I used to play a lot of heads-up sit-and goes. I used to play a lot of cash in it. It was just a fun game to play. There's a lot to it. There's 2 ways to bluff, is what I tell a lot of people, because people hate chop pots. Oh, man, I'm going to give you guys some stats. People hate chopping pots, but only 40% I think you can even chop. So it's
in
really
PL 08.
It's not really that bad. And with more people, it's pretty good. 4 players into the hand, if you chop it, it's a double up.
And is it similar to Big O, where a lot of the lesser players are in there with basically a low only hand? And
I'm sorry, but his hard sell was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Ambassador for PLOA, Danny Chang. It's pretty good.
What would you say? This is probably a silly question, but what is the big difference between Big O and PL 08 to you?
All right, so I feel in Big O, like the strategy to playing it is to play nittier. You know, you're generally just waiting for ace deuces and strong ace deuces most of the time because you're trying 3/4 people. While in PLO8, you can almost play a lot more hands because there's not as many nutted hands, and like, so like if you have nut low, it's hard to bluff you, right? So that's why it's hard to bluff people in Big O. While in PLO8, they're not gonna have nut low very often, so it's more common to bluff, or you're more capable of bluffing.
Okay. So similarly, I assume you've played double board PLO bomb pots.
Yeah.
We talk about those a lot. People have pretty visceral feelings about those. But I deal some games where whoever has the bomb pot button, whoever's on the button for the bomb pot gets to choose how many cards you get, like 4 or 5.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Sometimes 6 if there's, small enough player, if you have enough cards in the deck to do it. And there are some people, I found this to be so funny. There are some people that are like, I am so about the bomb pots. They are like, how many hands until the next bomb pot? They're like always excited about it. When the person on the button chooses 5, they're like, fuck it, I'm out. Too crazy. And I'm like, what do you call a double board PLO bomb? They're all fucking crazy. Like, how does 5 change it so much where, I mean, if you're playing like a full ring game, double board PLO bomb pot, I don't think a 5th card makes that big of a difference.
I do. I think it's harder to felt people in that scenario if they feel like people are making a lot more folds.
So you're saying it's harder to scoop with 5 cards?
I think it is. And that's completely anecdotal, and I'm speaking out of my backside. But
bomb pots are anecdotal, let's be honest. They're new enough right now that like nobody really, really, really knows. That's the best thing about them is it's like cutting edge.
You're not too wrong. I mean, if someone really took the time to delve in there into whatever type of theory you have, but I don't know. We know so little about multi-way pots in general, let alone a bomb pot where where a full ring of players is seeing 2 flops. It's pretty wild.
Texas poker, solver proof, love it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we're in this place where most people have just wisened up to where it's like we're only chasing nutted draws and bottom set no good, 2 pair no good, and they can be pretty tame.
So you're going to...
I don't know. At least my games have wisened up. I can't speak for all the games across town, but I feel like a lot of the middle to lower high stakes community.
Well, it sounds like you need to get in the PLO8 streets then, because
it's pretty good. What's sexy about PLO8? Like, what's glamorous about PLO8?
No, it's just fun. It's just
a fun game.
Yeah, like...
Is the PLO8 crowd a fun... Like, what's the prototype for a PLO8 player?
I don't know. I feel like they're generally younger.
Okay. Love it already. Sexy.
Well, because Limit 08 is generally a lot older. Like, our average age is probably like 60. But I think PLOA may be like 30, 35. Because they're like the internet kids. Like, because you only play it online.
Okay, I love it. We have a bunch of single tech boys playing PLO8. See, we're trying to sell your game, huh? We got you. Give them a sponsorship.
Do you prefer PLO8, but you will play Big O as like a compromise?
Essentially, yeah.
I've got a really good friend who's like huge on Big O, and like it's kind of the opposite. He'll be like, oh, I'll play PLO8.
I just don't like playing nitty. I hate waiting for a good hand. I like to like be able to create something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more fun.
I mean, according to him, there's like a lot of bluffing in Big O too. Like that's just part of the game that people haven't figured out.
No, there definitely is, but like it just makes it a little bit harder. I'm not saying there isn't at all. Like there are moments because like that they have like nut low draw and nut flush draw and like they missed. They have nothing. They use 2 of their cards for that big draw and like they have the other 3. Like if it's useful enough to like make a decent high hand and good luck, go for it. Like,
all right, so going back to this bracelet that you almost touched, there has to be anybody that's made any deep run in a big tournament. It's like there was one hand that was like, holy shit, the whole thing doesn't happen if this one hand doesn't happen, or vice versa. Like I heard, I'd way rather hear it from you than, the telephone game 7 people down the line, but I heard there was like one hand where you had Josh like almost dead to rights, whether it was like when you were heads up or earlier in the final table, and he kind of like banked one on you and went on to win it.
We had like 3 actually really big hands against each other. One was like just inevitable. I just had to lose a lot of money. Like he had a full house and a nut low. I had a second nut low and a nut flush.
Oh.
So, because like to beat my nut flush, you need to use 2 cards to beat my my flush. But the thing is, they're paired cards, so they cannot be used for a low. So he only has 2 cards left to make the nut low. So he has to have literally ace 3 pocket pair that makes a full house. And I was like, he potted. I had to call. Got scooped. That's one. Second one was it was almost similar, but I could have folded. Like he could have had ace 3 diamonds, and I'm scooped. 2 simple cards to just take me out. Well, the other one was 4 cards. You know what I mean? Like that's the skill in the game. Like how many card combinations can he have to scoop you? He has 4 shots at ace 3. Most likely he has the ace already. Probably suited. 3 is very reasonable, And I was like, I could have made that fold, but I fucked up. And the last one was heads up. I don't really remember the hand exactly, but I had a really strong hand. Like ace deuce, like 5 king. He had like 5, 6, 7, 10 or some shit. And flop came out. I think it was a chop or something. No, he was ahead. I needed a low draw. Turn, I made the low. And I think the river counterfeited my low and made him a wheel. And he scooped me.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't remember saying. He had a little bit better of a hand. He might have had like ace. I don't know what it was. It didn't matter.
Did you sell any of your action for the series, or were you 100% on your own?
I sell 50% every summer to like a bunch of friends on Facebook. And I've been doing it for like 3 years now. And generally, I'm probably gonna do that for. It's just because like I feel like when I play my own money, I can lose. It's no big deal. Like I'm the only one that gets mad. But if I lose other people's money, I kind of like generally feel bad. So it's like
makes you play a little better.
Fuck yeah,
that's funny.
One thing I'd love to ask you about is that I haven't experienced for myself. I'm mostly a cash player. Is what it does for your overall mindset. I mean, obvious when you bank one of these huge events. So obviously there's a bankroll influx that is helpful. And then also what does it do for your confidence going back to the games you're playing every week?
Honestly, like 2 weeks after, I felt like it kind of got to my head and I played poorly. I lost maybe like 10,000. Like I generally knew I played bad. Like it was just relatively recently. So like, cause 2 months after the series, I just like kind of like didn't do anything. I was just like relaxing. I went home, like visited family. But yeah, I played poorly. I like let it get to my head. But like recently, I made it back already. Like just chilled, calmed down. I played no limit for a little bit. I played some 1-2 no limit just to like relearn the value of $1. Because in that game, like you're trying to make a little bit of money, like in little small spots. While in PLO, you're trying to just stack everybody. It's not the same like game in a sense.
So bankroll wise, I'm sure some things changed. I'm sure you've probably played in some events since then that might have been a little bit outside your bankroll ability, right?
Wait, sorry, repeat that one more time.
So, I mean, after a big score like that, like a 300K score, that has to change. Like you have a lot more options available to you, right? A lot more doors open at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
Which changes things for you because, like, obviously, I mean, I'm assuming, right? Did you play the main event after that?
Yeah, I played the main.
Were you planning to play that?
It was 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know because like it depends on just how I feel. Like if I feel like I really want to play like a big tournament, I just go for it. But it's like it has to be spontaneous for me to play it.
And
like,
you cashed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I looked at it. You cashed. You went pretty good, right?
Yeah, I cashed for 30,000.
Yeah,
got like 385th, 285th.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
I mean that field is huge.
I kind of fucked up. I felt like at the end.
How so?
I just like I think I got exhausted and just started like bluffing, like because I know I should always stay disciplined, but like I kind of like straight away and just try to win pots, which you should really try to do there.
Well, I mean, in a way, I guess it depends who you're playing against, but I mean, I think a lot of people run into that in the main because it is so long and 2-hour levels and all the tanking that people do and stuff too. I mean, I think a lot of people run into that. That's why you always see the final table is full of young people. It is like almost never anyone over the age of 40 at those final tables because that's a freaking slog to get there.
Don't slander my man Cliff Josephy. That's a zaddy. I'll shout out.
He was on my table on day one.
He's yummy.
I was rooting for him big time. That set over set hand that he took was just brutal.
He seems like a really nice guy. And
I feel like that'd be really good for poker for him to have
be
won
with me. I'm sorry. What?
Yes, that too.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he's married. I'm joking.
Quick mention of our sponsors, Double Down Casino Events. I'm going to take this a little differently. If you have any interest in casino-related stuff, but maybe a casino is, intimidating to you, we got it. Just give us a call. 512-945-2363. Call for a quote. Check out the website, www.doubledowncasinoevents.com or Double Down Casino Events on all social media platforms, mainly Instagram. You can check out the equipment. It's all super professional stuff. Bring the dealer to you, chips, everything you need, and it's a great way to learn a game. Like if you thought you might want to go to a casino, but you're like, Jesus, I don't want to go to a craps table. I don't know a damn thing about craps. Like rent a craps table for 3 hours, bring a dealer, 2 dealers if you rent the big one. You'll know the game enough. Any casino game, you will know it enough to go confidently into a casino and know that you're not going to be, looking like a noob or making huge mistakes. Also, see your poker tables. If you're watching on YouTube, this crafty thing right here, or some clubs in town, such as Red Star Social. If you're in San Antonio Poker Palace. In Dallas, Shuffle. Here in Austin at Shuffle. Build poker tables. It's me. I'd do it. If you want a poker table, custom poker table, give me a shout. You can reach through DMs or, check us out. Night Owl Poker Tables on Instagram.
The finest poker tables I ever did see.
So, anything else you wanted to add from your last 12 months in poker? This rapid upshot that you've had?
Not really, honestly.
You made him shy. Why would you say it like that?
I don't know. I just don't think too much of it.
What does your poker consist of now? Like you said, you took a couple of months where you almost just have to. You were talking about relearning the value of a dollar. That's kind of huge too. How do you say you normally were grinding 1, 2, 2, 5? I know you weren't, but for someone that is, if they go and bank $300K in a tournament, it's kind of hard to go sit down and buy in for $300 and grind 1, 2 after that. But that's what you know.
That's honestly what I've been doing for the most part, and it's just because it's still good money. At the end of the day, we're gambling for a significant amount of money. I'm not trying to make a lot. I really don't care. I don't need too much money. It is what it is.
And you still work too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I deal at the lodge.
Okay, so you still deal. That's regular income. And do you play at the lodge? Where do you play? Do you play home games?
I mainly play at the lodge.
Mainly at the lodge. 1, 2, 1, 3.
For Hold'em, 1, 2. Hold'em's just random. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 5.
Whatever's going. Whatever looks good.
And then PLO 1, 2, 5, 1, 1. Yeah, for the most part, that's about it. Because they play pretty big, honestly. It's not like Vegas limit.
And those 2-5 lodge games are pretty stacked these days.
Well, and what we talk about all the time is poker in Texas is just a 1-2 is not necessarily a 1-2.
They don't exist.
No, I just meant that the skill level. The skill level at the 2-5 is pretty high. You're basically waiting for 3 to 7 players to rotate through that are going to bring action in that player pool.
Yeah. And if you're going to get money from anybody else, it's just going to be a cooler. You just have to cooler somebody. So, top 5, one of my favorite top 5s. I've been waiting to unleash this one. It is so fun. Top 5 ways to just be certain, to know without any doubt that you are the fish in the game.
Okay.
You want to disagree with me and say the whale in the game?
It's the whale. You're describing a whale. I think all the viewers will agree. I don't even feel like I have to disagree with you that hard because you're describing whale qualities.
Whale means fish. You have a lot of money. Fish just means you suck.
There you go.
See? That's what I'm saying. If you're the person to... Now.
Whales are the ones that have a lot of money. They are...
I don't think people are... the things that we're listing, I feel like people don't jump through these hoops and do these things in respect to a fish who is playing 2 bullets and leaving.
Well,
they come here every day. Yeah.
Let's just get into it and we'll decide after. Okay. How's that sound? Okay. We'll get into it and we'll decide after.
Agree to disagree.
Okay. Number 5. People are always happy to see you and overly nice to you.
Yeah.
You walk in and instead of everyone just being the head nod thing, whatever, they're oh my God, they jump out of their chair, they come give you a
big
hug,
maybe
kiss the top of your head or something, some people do to dealers here.
I make no apologies.
Just people just super nice to you. So boy, after you lose your money today, we want you coming back tomorrow because you are terrible. So yeah, just super nice. Can I get you anything? How's
your business? I remember exactly what it is. And how's your wife, Lorelai? Is she still struggling with her cankles? I don't know.
Number 4, there is little to no needling aimed in your direction, and there's like a lot of positive reinforcement. So the needling is reserved for the good players. So like I'll needle the fuck out of Danny the next time I see him at a table.
I'm cool with it. Make it funny.
He's kind of impenetrable.
Right. So then, but like you're never going to needle the fish. You want them to enjoy their time losing their money at the poker table. So you don't needle them. So that kind of leads us into number 3. There's like certain things that people will say to the fish. And like, it's just one of those things. I've started to pick up on it over time. It's just like, especially if you don't find the receiver of these comments to be the fish and you know that someone else does because they said something like, the hand played itself. Or
nothing you could do there.
Yeah, nothing you could do there. I mean, shit.
That was destined to happen.
You have jacks and you're facing a 4-bet. You had to go all in. I mean, what else could you do?
You could have ace king.
I mean,
you're a little ahead. So.
Yeah, if they ever have ace king there, I mean, you're flipping. So of course you got to get the money in. There's no better spots than that. Nope. That's just a cooler.
You're killing it, baby. Do you need a drink, by the way?
Yeah, if anybody says that the hand played itself to you after you lost a big pot, you are for sure the fish. Like, you know you're the fish. Number 2, this is one of my favorite ones. People always making sure that you can stay in the game, whatever it takes to make you stay in the game. They're like, hey, I have cash if you have Venmo or Cash App, or fuck, I'll even loan you money because I'm just going to get it back.
Is that like if you just like took out a sticky note and wrote IOU on it, like I know you're good for it. It's cool.
If there's a crypto transaction in your, I mean, you are for sure the fish. Like, you are 100% the fish. If they're like, I'll take Ethereum, that's fine. That's cool. Yeah. Doge, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's a new one I haven't heard of. We'll roll the dice.
Whatever the fuck coin, I'm in. Just send it to me. Here's $200, please. Yeah, and then I'll just save the information. We'll just do it again in 20 minutes.
I'll take the loss.
Number 1, absolute lock. The game stops when you do, and this is not necessarily a losing thing because like fish win sometimes. So when you are like, oh, I gotta go to work, or I gotta get home, I got a big day tomorrow, whatever.
My
and you like
wife.
rack up the chips, and literally as you're getting in your car leaving, you see the other 6 players from the game are like all like walking out the door, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, as soon as I'm done, the game's done.
This is like a fun observation I've learned about wives is like wives do not give a shit if you're losing. You can stay out as long as you want. They won't call you. They won't text you. But the moment you're winning, they need you home immediately.
You mean like, so someone like takes a picture of the stack, sends it, hey, look, I'm doing great. And she's like, yeah, rack those up.
No, I'm saying men use their wives as an excuse to leave, and they would never bring up the fact that it's like, my wife wants me home. When they're stuck $15K, they're not going to be like, oh, I got to leave my wife. No, they're stuck $15K. There's like, fuck you, back in my pocket. I was left on red.
So, yeah, one of my favorites is when somebody will announce, like, they've just won a big pot, but they don't want to be like the stone cold hit and run guy.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, I got to get going here in like the next 20 minutes. I'll play another orbit or whatever. They lose a big one in that orbit and they're there fucking 3 hours later. And I'm like, I thought you had to leave a while ago. And it's like, that's when I was up 1,200. That's when I had to leave. But now that I'm only up 200, I have to stay apparently.
I don't need sleep anymore. I know I do have to be up in the morning. That part is still true. But the part about me needing the sleep is less true.
I had left my oven on, but it turned itself off when you hit your 2 outer.
I remembered I had an app. Damnedest thing.
Hand review, got a crazy one. Pretty wild one.
I love how I'm the actual poker pro, but we always do your hand review.
No. Hold on. The last episode I told, I wasn't involved in that hand. I just dealt it. And then same with this. I didn't win or lose this hand, but it was a bonkers one. And this is like a great example.
Give the people what they want.
It's a double board PLO bomb pot, Super Texas. I think it was only 4 cards. At this game, there is no 5-card option. So this is a 4-card PLO bomb pot, 2 boards. Everybody's got $5 in their pre, and we go for it. So the shortest version of this story is basically the guy that ends up scooping the hand, spoiler alert, flops top set. He has 2 9s in his hand. He has 2 9s, and he has, like, I think, King Jack of Diamonds, which comes into play. Turn brings him an open-ended straight flush draw with the King Jack of Diamonds on top, and the bottom card pairs on the bottom board. So he has top boat, and he has an open-ended straight flush draw. So he goes ahead and just pounds it gets the money in, because there's action showing that other people like their hands as well.
Yeah.
So he's like, boy, this would really fucking suck if I'm up against quads, which does happen. I mean, that kind of stuff happens in PLO. You know, you have top boat, you run into quads sometimes. But he's like, but I've still got that draw on the top. So he goes ahead, gets the money in, binks the royal flush on top, and has 9s full on the bottom. And the way the hand played, like, there's no chance anyone has the only bigger boat than him. They would have had to be in there with like a naked pair of queens or something like that had nothing prior to the turn when all the money went in. So he's pretty much only worried about quads. And when he tables this hand, there was like a side pot that he was in, and God, it had to be, I think it was like 8,600 or something like that by the time it was all said and done. It was the same fucking guy that won the story I told last week. So this is like 2 weeks in a row. I think these 2 pots total close to 20,000, but just, that's what people don't understand in these bomb pots is sometimes when you're just like locked and you've got a draw on the other one, it's just a free roll to scoop it. And that's what happened here. Yeah, he hit the royal flush to crush somebody's soul on the top. The other 2 guys are both on the top board.
I'm just imagining it right now. I'm looking at it.
Danny's like, I'm hard like a diamond.
You can't lose. How much money can you get in? That's your only goal.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Well, and it's one of those spots sometimes where you're thinking like, how much can I bet and keep both these players in case I miss and like end up with half the pot? But like when it's just getting potted and repotted before it gets, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, let's just get stacks in. Let's go.
Yeah. And just so y'all know, if you're a badass who bluffs a lot, you get paid in those spots. And if you a knit, you make the minimum.
Leave me alone.
Find some bluffs, baby. Juice up that value.
Leave me alone, Caitlin. Don't call me out like that. No. I hate that shit.
You like it.
Drives me nuts. Oh, I had another question for Danny, not for you. Don't me. This is our last episode. Our top 5 was favorite non-Hold'em variants. So I guess for you, I'm going to have to say not Hold'em and not PLO 8. What's your favorite like oddball variant of poker?
Probably deuce to 7. Triple draw is a lot of fun.
Shit, I'm going to have to learn this game. That's Caitlin's
low ball is stuff. Well, mine's single drop, but yeah.
I've played single draw. It's a lot of fun. I know I'm not good at it, so I haven't touched it yet, really. It's just going to take a while. I probably have to like...
I honestly feel like people just try to overcomplicate it with the single draw.
So at a front, he explains it to me like this. He's like, a 7's almost like an 8 and an 8's almost like a 9. And I was like, what does that mean? He's really good at it, though. That's all he told me. I have no idea what the fuck that means.
No, like 10s and jacks are good at showdown a lot in single draw.
Yeah,
you can pat jacks, especially if your opponent draws 2 in front of you. You're patting a jack all day.
Yeah, that makes sense because you're ahead. Even like with 1, you're still ahead technically, I guess.
Oh, yeah. No, you're supposed to. I think you're like it's between 50 and 55% favorite against any draw with jack.
I'm going to have to learn this game. Although you said I'd be very bad at it.
Well,
but
yeah,
you think
because
I'm bad at everything. So
if you play,
that's true. But like you're going to pair a lot when you do draws. You're going to pair a lot, but your opponent's going to pair too, or your opponent's going to have a king high or an ace high. So there are going to be a lot of spots where it's like pot goes who wants it, and that's what's sexy to me about the game is that it's a bluffer's game. You know, it's sexy. You have a pair of kings, but it's like if you have blockers, if you have a pair of 3s, then you know, you're blocking the nuts. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of an interesting angle. I hadn't really thought about it like that. That's kind of interesting.
Or if you have 2 pair, like, you know, some of the best bluffing hands in that games are going to be your baby 2 pair combos, like 2s and 5s. That's a bluff all day.
Yeah, so it's like hands that would be strong.
I don't know.
Like
Danny knows more about mixed games. He may be like...
I don't know. I've never really played it too much, so I have no clue.
Yeah, no.
You're triple draw, that's it.
Yeah, the baby boats and stuff. Yeah, you're pounding it.
So would triple draw be like more the equivalent, like we were talking about 4 card and 5 card, where like you got to be a little more nutted when you're triple draw, a little less bluffy?
Yeah.
Well, another thing that can be really fun about that game is like it's a draw game, right? So you have the option to pat. You can do it's like the hands I'm describing, these double pair and baby boat hands are actually great hands to snow with, where you pat as a bluff, and then you let your opponent, especially if your opponent's drawing in front of you, and then you just like fucking hammer it.
Do you see a future where like people are playing this game
in
the masses?
Yeah, it's
I don't.
It's like something like PLO8. It's just
It takes a little longer to deal, and you can't sit as many people, which is probably the worst part about like the club social model, seat rental model in Texas, because if you can seat it 8-handed, but you need a kill button. Only 7 can get dealt in because it's a 5-card draw game.
Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, what do you think about short deck, Danny? You play any short deck?
I've never tried it. Like I don't even know the rules to it.
I
can figure it out, but I don't know the rules to it. Like,
I think that's a variant that could
something's different. Like flush is better than a straight or something.
Flush is better than a full house.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because there's only 9 of each suit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Though.
So it's hard to get 5 of them. And there's some variants, like the way that the actual probability shakes out for a straight and trips. So 3 of a kind beats a straight in some things, but I think that keeps people from playing the game. And it's like super, super close as far as like the odds of making a straight, because you make a ton of straights in that game.
Yeah.
The other weird one in there is ace 6, 7, 8, 9 is a wheel, because the 2s to 5s are gone. So that's the 5 lowest cards.
Oh shit.
Ace 6, 7, 8, 9 is a wheel straight.
So ace is a 5 also, right?
Kinda, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I love that game. I want to play it more. I'm not like an expert at it or anything like that. I just think it's a super fun game. It's kind of like PLO, but with 2 cards. It's a very draw-heavy game, very close equities and all that stuff. I talk about it all the time. I just was curious if you played. I think they have a short deck event at the World Series now.
I have no clue. I definitely
Phil Ivey just won that short deck event at the
oh yeah,
Triton.
He loves it. Like Ivy and Dwan are like the biggest proponents of
short they
deck.
spent a lot of time talking about it on the Solve for Wife podcast about just his ability to immediately solve strategy games and be ahead of the curve on all the different trends.
I was watching, I think it was the World Series short deck or whatever, and there was like so many times I paused the stream and like put it in because their equity calculator was super slow on some of them, and I think if it was 3 ways, they like it wasn't even calculating it until it got to heads up. And so I went and I found a really, really good equity calculator online, and I was putting in like some equities that are just like from a hold'em. I mean, you're holding 2 cards and it's a 5-card board, so you really are thinking like hold'em, math. And then you like put in the equity and you're like, holy fuck, that guy's got 38% equity with like what just you think it's like trash up against the hand that it's up against, but he's got a pile of equity and like it just makes sense. Like the money gets in a lot. It's kind of a gambling game. And you can get some people to lay down some big hands. I mean, it's very unlikely that you have a flush, but kind of crazy. You can get a boat to fold if you convince them you have a flush. It's kind of weird.
It's actually kind of interesting because there's less cards in the deck now, so the math goes different now.
Totally.
Like if you're drawing for 2
outs
pairs,
are worth way more.
It's a higher chance because there's less cards.
Yeah. Yep. Super, super cool. We're gonna do a meetup game at some point. We're gonna play some short deck, and
I'm in.
I'll just force people. If they don't want to, I'll just make them.
I'm busy that day, I think, but thanks for thinking of me.
When I say we'll have a meetup game, I mean like you're involved.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I said I'm gonna have a meetup game.
I'm so sorry. I got in a car accident that day. That's about to happen.
That's a bad bluff.
I call.
Terrible. I snap call. How much is it? I verbalize my snap call. I used to play with a guy that did that. Someone would say like, bet 100, and he would go, I snap call. What do you have?
He makes it less snap call-y by saying snap call.
I know.
I know.
He's adding more words.
Working against it.
How much? I will snap call. How much is it?
I'm going to call this really, really fast.
Okay. Time for harsh but fair. Danny, the rules are your comments must be harsh, but they must be true. And you must accept your feedback. When you are given your harsh but fair, you must say, like, that is harsh, but that is fair. You're not allowed to rebut. You're not allowed to make your case. Can I kind of troll?
Like,
no, absolutely troll.
Yeah, no, we're asking you to troll.
Absolutely troll.
I trolled you the whole episode before the bit was even here, so that's the kind of people we are.
All right, so you guys, honestly, this experience has been a lot of fun. You guys have been really nice, and like, I guess that's what you say to the fishes, right?
Yeah, true.
That is harsh but fair.
We got the double. We got the double again. Sam gave us the double. Like 2
kill shots, one bullet. That was wow.
That's brutal.
Easy peasy.
That was brutal. That was harsh. That was fair.
Harsh and fair. Pithy.
This is cool.
A structured joke. We stand a king.
I've been stoned this whole time, and that's all I've been thinking about and listening.
Man, I gotta roast them good.
I had no answer for that. I was like, man, that's pretty funny.
Nice one, homie. Craig, you do me because I can't for the life of me remember. Did I tell you what I was going to do for you? Because I can't remember for the life of me.
No, but I told you what I was going to do for you. You know it's coming. Show the camera those man hands you got. This fucking
I'm hideous.
hairy man Sasquatch hands of yours. This is a throw out to one of Caitlin's like laziest trolls, the most recent lazy troll, because she has so many just like of all the things people could troll you for, they take the low hanging fruit and it's like not even good low hanging fruit. It's like rancid fruit that's like not doesn't even hold water.
I mean, look, they look like a couple of
so
nectarines.
Get your man paws out of here. Just fuck off with those things. And Danny, I asked you for a $300,000 story. And you gave me like $20.
Sorry, man.
I mean, I wanted some like high stress.
It was
like,
chill.
I don't think Danny gets stressed.
Like,
I was drinking during it. I
was on the money bubble and I had like 3 outs and I
had a lot of
got
chips.
there. And
it's not that stressful when you have a lot of chips. Like I really, honestly, my goal was just to try to like
story checks out.
Wait for really good hands and put pressure on them. That's my only strategy. It kept working. I was like, oh shit, nice. And I lost.
I wasn't there. You could have just made some shit up just to like placate.
Yeah, I know, but
I mean that's all I got. That's as harsh as I can be, but as fair as I can be. I was expecting a way, way, way more electric story other than like
I'm not very good at that. Seems like a lot of work. But it was very fun. Like when we were all ins, like so they have like a camera above the table and there's a TV on the side where spectators can watch. So anytime there was all in, I'd run to my friends and we just like watch, sweat it together.
Yeah.
Like I'm all in, I just run over there. And it's just like, it was kind of cool. I mean, I wish I won, but it is what it is.
What was first place? What did you not win?
I think it was like 460.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I suppose the difference at that point is almost as weird as it sounds, it's almost like inconsequential because you're just so thrilled in that moment.
Yeah.
Did it take a day or two to be like, holy shit, that's awesome? Or were you like actually disappointed in the moment for not winning?
I don't even really know. Like, it's just random. Like some moments I felt like I dwelled on it. Some moments I was like, like I realized it that like, it's not that bad. You know, like what am I bitching about?
The only equivalence that I would have is like sometimes it's very similar. There's so many similarities between golf and poker, but like you play in a golf tournament, there's 300 people in it. You finish like 7th. Like that's fucking awesome. You did great. You beat, almost 300 people. Like only 6 people beat you. That's phenomenal. So only like one person beating you in a giant field poker tournament's got to just be like, that's pretty awesome. It may take a day, especially if you were like super close to winning. It may take a day or two to be like, all right, that was pretty cool. But yeah, 300,000. It's not an amount to shake a stick at.
It's definitely nice.
Where does that expression come? Shake a stick at?
I'm not sure. I will look it up.
Like after a gentleman uses the restroom?
Next episode, I will have that figured out. We will discuss. Caitlin, you have anything mean to say about my appearance or my weight or my hair or my chin or...
I'm drawing
you're like,
dead.
You're like out of ways to make fun of me. So
I know. I'm drawing so thin these days. I came in too hot. You're harsh but fair is... I can do this.
I'm waiting.
You're harsh but fair is that every time we outline the podcast, I make little scratchy notes in a pink notebook that says girls do great things. And then you type it up on Microsoft Word like we're writing an essay for the 7th grade. We need to make sure to get our thesis bullet points. Here you're using dashes and here you're using...
Well, see, the top 5, it has
you're
to have
a dork
numbers.
And you're organized and prepared. Fuck you. I don't know. Harsh but fair.
Yeah,
he even had it in reverse. Like he did it in order of when he was gonna say it. You know, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but he went for
5 down.
It's illogical.
Yeah.
Save the best for last.
It's
sorry for being
my least
good.
favorite thing about you. I'm struggling with these.
All right, you have a good one for Danny, even though he called us fish.
My harsh but fair for Danny is that you've worked at the lodge for all this time, and I don't know who the hell you are, and I know everybody, so you're obviously not that impactful. So.
Are you that incognito dealer that
I
just
try
like,
to stay
shows
quiet.
up and doesn't say anything?
I just shut up and deal when I'm sitting. If you talk to me like over friends, like if I know you pretty well already, like I would say hi.
Well, I'm gonna talk to you now. I'm a
for sure,
and bother
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome to. It's just I try to just deal, and that's it.
Me too. Next time I walk in the lodge, regardless of what table you're at, I'm gonna yell from the other side of that place, which is fucking huge, and just be like, Danny, yo. What's up, bro?
It's me. Yeah. It's me, Caitlin, from the podcast.
Yeah, that's
remember when I was mean to you for 45 minutes? I'm back.
You remember that?
But yeah, absolutely. I think that's what makes it fun to like go play poker, like seeing a bunch of your friends that you see not every day, but most of the time. So.
Yeah, I'm incapable of. I can't deal like that. Like I have too much fun when I deal. Anyone that's like played, they know when I'm dealing. Like I talk all the time and like engage and do all sorts of things that you're not supposed to do at a actual club. Like I will acknowledge the texture of the board, which you're not allowed to do. But it's like one of those kind of silly rules that I always thought, you know what? Everybody knows there's fucking 4 diamonds on the board. Okay, I'm just going to talk about it. So.
It's true. We're not blind. And if we were, it would be correct of you to describe the cards. Anyway.
I love the brick call. Famous for the brick call. I don't know any other dealers that do that, but I will absolutely lay down the biggest non-brick you've ever seen and just be like, brick. That's a brick.
You ready for an outro, Craig? Or you got anything else you got?
I'm good. I think I'm done.
Oh, did you see the poker bunny got some type of nose surgery? And I think she was high on painkillers, perhaps, because she is posting in 15-minute intervals. Just real winners, like, I love information, emoji. I mean, I love my phone.
That and then sounds like something she would say not on painkillers. Like, if you were to tell me, hey, you're not going to believe this, Poker Bunny said something dumb, I'm like, and?
But it's just she has so many followers, she just populates all on the main feed. If you're on Poker Twitter, Fitter. Yeah, but I wish her well.
Bangladesh.
I thought she was gorgeous. The fact that she thought she needed, maybe she's just correcting a crooked sinus or something. But I thought she was
deviated
already
septum.
doing well in the looks department.
Yeah, well, that's up for debate as well. But
no, stop.
Yeah,
Treasure.
There is a little teaser here. This may or may not happen.
Why am I holding the microphone like this?
I think she is going to have some competition at some point on the live streams. That's all I'm going to say. Call it a teaser. Those that are in the circle of trust know what I'm referencing, and I am doing my absolute best to create a rival character to Poker Bunny. It's going to be fucking epic. It is going to be epic. I cannot wait.
Thank you so much for listening to the Texas Poker Experience. I'm Caitlin Komeski. This is Craig Sear. Big thanks to our guest, WSOP champion,
runner-up,
Danny, runner-up, Dan Chang. I was gonna round up for you, but okay, we can be technical about it. Thank you so much for your time, Danny, and sharing your experiences. Congrats on your recent success and continued future success in poker. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Stitcher or any other podcast medium, we would love for you to subscribe, leave a review, leave a rating. That's really helpful. We would also love it if you were watching on YouTube to like and subscribe. If you're a regular listener, please engage with us. Follow our Instagram at Texas Poker Experience. Leave a comment. And to our very close circle, as much as we love it when you send us those private messages of how funny or informative you thought the podcast was, or this was the best one yet, please say that publicly. Good Lord, help me with this algorithm. I'm a busy lady, y'all. Can you just mama's working hard. Help me out. All right. Thank you for listening to the Texas Poker Experience. Please remember to put the straddle on.
Don't be nit.
Goodbye.